Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this webinar about TESDA's enterprise-based training program. I am Sherwin Pelayo. I'm the Executive Director of the Analytics and AI Association of the Philippines. And thank you once again for joining us. This June, we are celebrating with the DICT, the National ICT Month with the team Bayang Digital, Ang Bagong Pilipinas. And this week, we focus on Pilipinong Konektado, where we emphasize the importance of leveraging digital connectivity and investing in upskilling and reskilling initiatives so that Filipinos can adapt and compete in the digital economy. One way for us to do that is for us to understand, the various training programs that our various government agencies provide us, opportunities that are given to us. This includes TESDA's Enterprise-Based Training or EBT program. This is where TESDA encourages companies to conduct in-company training for its own workforce who may be new hires or existing employees, especially on fourth industrial revolution skills such as analytics and AI. EBT actually is more than that. And we are very fortunate to be joined here by our friends from TESDA, especially Executive Director of Partnership and Linkages Office, ED Joy Masongsong, Supervising TESDS of Certification Office, Ms. Ida Miape, and Senior TESDS of Certification Office, Ms. Mel Condes. Okay. Again, thank you, ED Joy, Ms. Ida, Ms. Mel, for joining us. Okay. I'll turn it over na po to one of our dear friends sa AAPC, ED Joy, who has always been very supportive of our projects here in the AAP, to introduce everyone to TESDA's EBT program. ED Joy, good afternoon po, and thank you for joining us again.
Good afternoon, Sir Sherwin, and thank you for this opportunity to be joining you and to be sharing with you what EBT is all about, or enterprise-based training programs. EBT actually is one of the training delivery modalities that is available in TESDA, and it's the kind of delivery of the training programs that we have that specifically engages the industry in developing their future hires or the future workforce for their respective industries. And as EBT is concerned, as far as EBT is concerned, we in TESDA, we have different kinds of EBT programs that our industries can probably consider if they wish to develop their future hires or to have a hand and be engaged in what we do in TESDA, which is the mandated agency of the government in developing the Filipino workforce. And under EBT, or the Enterprise-Based Training Program, we have the dual training system. This one is a training delivery modality under EBT, which was patterned after the program, the similar program that Germany has. So very familiar po ang ating mga kababayan, lalo na yung mga taga-TESDA that have had the experience of seeing firsthand how the system is being done, being implemented in Germany. And here in the Philippines, actually, the program, or rather the law that governs the implementation of dual training system is a law that is even older than the law that created TESDA. Mas nauna pa po siya by a few months. And under dual training system, we have right now some guidelines and some issuances pertaining to how it's going to be implemented and how it's going to be monitored. And later on, I will try to share with you the difference between these enterprise-based training programs that are available or that are uh, being implemented and being monitored by TESDA. The other kind of EBT program is the probably the more common uh, program that most of us know and have heard of, which is apprenticeship. The apprenticeship program is one of the EBT programs that can be considered by an industry if they wish to be um, leading or have a hand in developing their future workforce. Um, now, aside from the dual training system and the apprenticeship, we also have the in-company training, the supervised industry learning, and the program in accelerating farm school establishments or POPSE. These are the EBT programs that we have in TESDA, and these EBT programs are being governed by several TESDA circulars in as far as implementing these programs are concerned. Now, under the dual training system, we defined it as an instructional delivery system of TVET that combines the in-plant and the in-school training based on a training plan. So as the name connotes, there are two venues for the implementation of the training, for the implementation of the program. We have the school or the institution and the partner enterprise. Since the program would have to be implemented in two venues, there has to be a partnership first between an institution and the partner enterprise. And the implementation of the program will be guided by a training plan, which will be collaboratively or jointly designed by the partner enterprise and the institution or the training institution. Now, the apprenticeship is defined, on the other hand, as a training within employment, which involves a contract between the apprentice, that's how we call our learners under apprenticeship program, the apprentice and the employer on an approved apprenticeable occupation. So before an apprenticeship program can commence, there has to be a contract between the employer and the apprentice. And only those that have been identified as apprenticeable occupation can be delivered using the apprenticeship uh, modality or training delivery modality. The other kind of EBT is what we call the learnership. Uh, the learnership is a practical training on a learnable occupation or a non-apprenticeable occupation, which may or may not be supplemented by a related theoretical instruction. I'm saying this because under apprenticeship, there's a requirement of 1 hour of theoretical training for every 20 hours of practical training. However, under learnership, which is the most fit for easily learned skills, the theoretical uh, instruction may be required or may be done, and it may not. It may also be not done. So depending on the on how the employer would see it fit to be provided to the learners. The other kind is the in-company training. The in-company training, or ICT, is a retooling program which is aimed at reskilling or upskilling and multi-skilling even the existing workers and the near hires of the industries or the enterprises. Unlike other enterprise-based training programs, however, the ICT is not positioned as a recruitment mechanism. And the fifth kind of EBT is the PAPSE, or the Program in Accelerating Farm School Establishment. This is the program that aims to accelerate the establishment of the farm schools, adopting the concept of learning by doing through the farmer to farmer approach. And this is demand responsive and interactive learning, and is matched with the farm season uh, in the area. So these are the 5 enterprise-based training programs that we have right now in TESDA. And as I've mentioned, the enterprise-based training program is a training delivery modality, one of the 3 training delivery modalities. The other 2 being the institution-based and the um, community-based training programs. And it is the EBT, the kind of training delivery modality that is launched at the Partnerships and Linkages Office, probably because it is the PLO that engages directly with the industry. And so this kind of training delivery work, we would want the industry to be taking the lead, is launched at the PLO. Um, Later on, probably if you have other questions or clarifications with regard to the difference and the distinctives of these EBT programs, then we can talk about it. So for now, probably that's just a little backgrounder and some uh, introduction to what EBT is all about.
Thank you very much, ED Joy. And I think our goal really po ba is more and more of our companies really register their programs with TESTA, so that I think we can also keep track the upskilling that is being done, especially for emerging technologies such as analytics. No, I think that's something that, as a country, we need to report that we are doing, as compared to the rest of the world. Because, while the rest of the world is actually doing a lot of this, it's as if, the Philippines is not doing anything, when in fact, our private companies are actually doing a lot. We just need to register them with TEST, the programs that we do have.
Yes, and it's a good thing that we have our colleagues from the certification office who can help us out in the process that is required for a program to be registered.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ED Joy. Again, thank you for joining us. I'll hand it over now po to our certification office, with Ma'am Ida and Miss Mel. I think to discuss further naman po yung registration process natin. Thank you very much, ED. Will definitely, the test circular about EBTs is just available there. I'll share it also with our participants, so that they can get more details about the 5 types of training under EBT. Thank you, ED Joy. Turning it over po to Miss Ida po.
Okay, thank you, ED Joy, and thank you po, Mr. Sherwin Pelayo. I'm glad to present to you the requirements for program registration and the process cycle time in the registration of ATBET program. Okay, let me present po my presentation.
Sige po, Ma'am Ida.
Thank you po. May I check po kung visible na po ang aking presentation?
If you could play po the slideshow.
Okay po.
We could check them po. Yan po. Okay na po.
Okay po. Check. Okay po. Again, I'm Ida Tibiape from the Program Registration Division of Certification Office. Ang office po namin is mandated for development po of policies and guidelines with regards po on program registration, assessment, and certification. Well, yung amin po, ang certification office po is divided into 2 division. Isa po is yung Program Registration Division, na kung saan po ako ay part po ng ng PRD and also po yung Certification Assessment Division po. Okay, welcome po sa TBET Program Registration under po ng UTPRAS. When we say UTPRAS po, ito po yung Unified TBET Program Registration and Accreditation System of TESDA. I would like to inform you that the Section 8 of Republic Act 7796 and TESDA Board Resolution, dali lang po, hindi ko mabasa kasi, sorry. I-hide ko lang po. Okay, Section 8 of Republic Act 7796 and TESDA Board Resolution 98-03 as reiterated by TESDA Circular Number 107 Series of 2021 mandates all technical vocational programs being offered to the public to be registered under TESDA. Yung Republic Act 7796, yan po yung Republic TESDA Act of 1994. And ito po ang legal basis po ng program registration. Yung TESDA Circular Number 107 Series of 2021, yan po yung aming Omnibus Guidelines on TBET Program Registration. And yung program registration, it prescribes full compliance with the minimum requirements prescribed in the training regulations or for NTR program po namin, meron na po kaming competency standards and these are anchored on the competency-based system. Okay po, yung UTPRAS po or Unified TBET Program Registration and Accreditation System, meron po siyang two-stage process of quality assurance that covers po the following: the mandatory registration of the TBET programs with TESDA and the monitoring for continuous compliance with the prescribed minimum requirements and the voluntary accreditation of institutions which deals with the institutionalization of quality management system at the institutional level. So po, I would like to inform po pag yung inyo pong EBT program ay na-registered sa TESDA, meron po itong after 1 year of registration, magko-conduct po ang TESDA ng compliance audit. This is to ensure po na continuous po yung compliance ng programs on TESDA standards. Okay po, we have po 3 TBET delivery mode. Ito po yung institution-based program, yung enterprise-based program, and community-based program. When we say institution-based program po, these are post-secondary TBET programs of varying duration offered by TESDA Administrative School and public and private TBET institutions. Both TESDA school and public and private institutions po, we require them to register their program with TESDA. For the enterprise-based program po, these are training programs being implemented within companies or enterprises. Ang sample po niyan, as ED Joy said a while ago, the dual training system, apprenticeship program, and apprenticeship program and learnership program. And additional po dyan yung micro-credential course program. And for a community-based program, these are training programs conducted right in the community and which are primarily addressed to the poor and marginalized group, those who cannot access or are not accessible by formal training provisions. These are purposely designed to catalyze the creation of small enterprises in the community and help the poor get into productive undertakings to help themselves and their communities. Actually po, ang community-based program namin, meron po kaming mobile training program. Pero ang registration po ng mobile training program, kailangan po may registered institution-based training muna bago po siya makapag-registered ng mobile training program. Okay, for the status po ng TBET programs, we have po 2. Number one is with training regulations refers to the programs registered under the UTPRAS with corresponding training regulation as a basis for their registration. Ang TESDA po kasi is nagpa-facilitate po siya ng development ng training regulations with partner industry sector. And under item number 2, yung pangalawa po nating TBET program registration is yung no training regulations, which refers po to the program registered with TESDA not covered by any training regulation. However po, ngayon po, lahat po ng no training regulation must have a competency standards. Kaya po, nagde-develop po ang ating certification, ang ating Qualification and Standards Office in coordination with Tibet Institution ng competency standards for the no training regulations. Yung training regulations po refers to a package of competency standards, training standards, assessment and certification arrangement promulgated by TESDA Board for nationwide implementation. Sa TESDA website po, makikita nyo po yung mga promulgated training regulations ng TESDA in coordination po with, developed po in coordination with the various industry sectors. Okay po, next slide po is the process flow and process cycle time. Okay, the program registration process cycle times starts with the evaluation by the Provincial Office of the Program Registration documents submitted by a TBI applicant to the approval and issuance of Certificate of Tibet Program Registration or Certificate of Recognition, or another one is the Certificate of Accreditation for DTS Tibet Institutions and Partner Enterprise. Ang nag-i-issue po ng CTPR or Certificate of Recognition or COA is yung ating pong regional office. Pinaprocess po yung program registration application at the level po ng provincial office. Okay po, ito po yung process cycle flow and process cycle time. Applicable po ito for IBT, EBT, and community-based training program. Makikita nyo po yung ating pong key steps and number of working days. Meron po diyang nakalagay included in the process cycle time, not included in the process cycle time. And we have po key players. These are the provincial director, the district or provincial director, and the regional director. And also kasama po dyan yung certification office when it comes po doon sa preparation ng national report. Okay po, for the first activity po ng process flow and process cycle time, we have po the, sorry. Check ko lang po parang, nandun na sa evaluates. Parang may kulang po ata. Let me check lang po muna.
Baka na-hide po yung slide.
Opo, i-check ko lang po muna. I-stop share ko lang po muna.
Yeah, while Ma'am Ida is checking, I put in the chat po, this is the first competency standard that AAP and TESDA work on pagdating po natin ng analytics and AI. So we do have a competency standard already for data analytics level 3. And I know many of our audience here, I know you are offering already a lot of training in data analytics, yung mga visualization, EDA, yan. So part na siya ng competency standard natin sa data analytics level 3. So this is actually something that you can already register, no? So titingnan natin yung process na sinasabi ni Miss Ida.
Sige po. Balik na po ako na
Okay.
ano lang po
na hide.
naging second ano po siya. Yung first po is naging second siya doon sa slide ng process flow and process cycle time. Yan po, magi-start po siya sa ating applicant TBI as one of the key players. Magsasubmit po siya ng letter of intent or letter of application sa provincial office po. Yan po ang ating provincial office or provincial director. After po na ma-receive ang yung letter of intent, mag-ano po yan sila, mag-communicate po sa inyo, mag-i-email or tatawagan po kayo to encourage po our prospective TVET institutions or companies to attend po yung orientation and program registration. Yan po, we will provide po a comprehensive orientation on program registrations. Ang mga topics po dyan includes po program registration requirements, policies and guidelines. Other issuances po on program registrations. Magiging responsibility po ng ating TVET institutions or company once po na registered po yung program nila with TESDA. And also yung ating other concerns na kailangan pong malaman ng ating mga applicant in the registration of program and in the conduct of program. Okay po, ang next activity po, ang ating pong after po kasi ng orientation, ibibigay na rin po sa inyo yung mga i-orient din po kayo doon sa mga forms na kailangan po nating isubmit, and doon din po sa concern provincial office or district office, sila po ang magbibigay sa inyo ng mga requirements, yung mga template, yung mga forms. And during orientation po, we encourage po na mag-ask po kayo, magtanong para po yung hindi po clear sa inyo, pwede pong magtanong para po pag nag-prepare po tayo ng ating program registration document, application documents is maayos, and ipoprovide po kayo ng technical assistance ng ating mga district or provincial UTPRAS focals. Sila po ang mag-orient sa inyo at sila rin po ang mag-i-evaluate, initial evaluation po ng program registration application documents, and just in case po may mga nakita po sila yung inconsistencies or non-compliant or may kulang, may deficiencies, magpo-provide po sila ng feedback sa ating prospective applicant TBI. To ensure po ng TESDA na nabibigyan po ng aksyon yung inyong mga application document, meron po kaming action slip na kung saan po naka-indicate po doon kung kailan po ninyo na-submit yung inyong program registration application documents and anong action po ang ginawa ng ating UTPRAS focals. May date po yun, and both UTPRAS focals and yung applicant representative po is magsasign together po with our provincial director to ensure po na na-accommodate po namin at nabibigyan po ng immediate action yung inyong pong application. Next activity po is after po niyan na bigyan po kayo ng feedback na ayos na po yung inyong mga administrative and corporate documents. Meron pong uling makikipag-communicate po uli sa inyo yung ating UTPRAS focals for the conduct of site inspection dun po sa facilities ng prospective applicant TBI. Ang site inspection po pwede pong face-to-face at pwede rin pong virtual. And may mga corresponding preparation po for the virtual, ano po ang i-ready. At ganun din po sa face-to-face, ano po yung kailangang i-ready ng ating mga prospective applicants TBI for the conduct of site inspection. After po ng site inspection, from there po, i-inform po yung ating prospective applicant ano po yung kailangan pa pong i-comply ng ating company. Ano po yung mga deficiencies. And kung okay naman po at complete, correct at compliant po, magsisignal na po sa inyo ang ating UTPRAS Focal to submit the complete program registration application documents. Okay po, nasa level pa rin po tayo ng Provincial Director. Pag nasubmit po yan ng ating prospective company, yung correct, complete, and compliant program registration documents, ang ating pong UTPRAS Focal ay i-review and i-check po niya yung completeness and correction of all program registration application documents. And pag in-accept po niya yung inyong program registration application documents, mag-i-issue po siya ng acknowledgement receipt and magre-recommend na po siya ng sasabihin na po sa inyo na pwede na po kayong magbayad ng program registration fee in the amount of 2,000 pesos per program po. And yung review and check of completeness and correction of all program registration application documents, siya po ang magiging day 1 ng process cycle time namin. If you notice po, dito po sa ibang mga activity not included in the process cycle time, hindi po tatanggapin ng TESDA yung inyong mga program registration application document unless complete, correct, and compliant. Okay, next po. Magpe-prepare po yung ating UTPRAS Focal sa provincial or district office ng recommendation and together po with the result po ng ocular inspection, and then isasubmit niya po yung complete documents sa regional office. We have 2 days po, allowed 2 days po to transmit the application documents and recommendation to the regional office. May mga regional office po kasi kaming malayo siya sa mga provincial offices. And after po niyan, yung ating regional office or provincial office, definitely po may review rin po siya ng program registration na isinabmit po ng ating provincial director or provincial office. We assume po na lahat po ng documents are in order. And yung ating regional office ay i-approve po niya yung program registration application documents and mag-i-issue po siya ng CTPR or Certificate of Recognition, and that will be count as day 3. Yung day 2 po, yun yung prepares recommendation and submit complete documents to the regional office. And then itatransmit po ng ating provincial, ng ating regional office, yung CTPR, COR, and complete documents to the provincial office. And again, 2 days is allowed for the transmittal of the application documents. Okay po, ang ating provincial office or district office, i-awards po niya yung CTPR, COR, and complete documents, and sa ating pong Tibet institutions or companies, and magko-conduct po siya ng post-orientation on program registration. Pag na-issue na rin po kayo ng CTPR or COR, may corresponding responsibilities po yan. And ang ating pong provincial or district office, magbibigay po siya ng capability program na kung saan po ay tuturuan kayo kung paano po mag-encode doon po sa TESDA Training Management Information System. Tinatawag po namin yung T2MIS. At doon din po magre-report yung ating TBI or companies sa T2MIS when it comes po doon. Kung mag-start na po siya ng kanyang training, yung kanyang pong enrollment, i-encode niya po yan doon sa T2MIS. Kung may scholarship program po yung ating registered program, mayroon pa rin pong kailangang alamin tungkol po doon sa requirements on ng scholarship program. Ito po yung sa BSRS. Ito po yung attendance na kung saan po through ano na po digital na po yung ating attendance through BSRS ng scholarship program. And then po, yung ating applicant is i-accept niya po yung CTPR and COR and complete documents. And mag-a-attend po siya ng post-orientation on program registration. Ito na po yung isang responsibility po ng ating TBET institutions or company once na-registered po ang program niya or na-recognize with TESDA. Okay po. Basically, ito po yung mga importanteng activities in the process flow and process cycle time on program registration. Okay po, as the OPR po on program registration, certification office po is with the report submitted to us by TBET institutions and our provincial and district offices, we will analyze po yung report and we will prepare po the national report. By the way po, pag na-registered yung program ninyo, pwede nyo po yung ma-check sa TESDA website. Just type po yung name ng inyong company or TBET institutions and the program and the registered program. Ito po yung, that's and po yung ating process flow and process cycle time. I would like to summarize lang po ang ating process cycle time. Begins with the review of complete, correct, and compliant program registration documents. And number 2 po, prepare po siya ng recommendation. Ang ating provincial or district office, magpe-prepare po siya ng recommendation for approval ng RD. And together with the complete program registration documents, ita-transmit po niya yan sa regional office. And yung process cycle time number 3 po, i-approve po ng ating regional office yung program registration documents and mag-i-issue po siya ng CTPR, COR, or COAs sa ating pong company or TBET institutions. Okay po, I will discuss po yung checklist of requirements for the enterprise-based training program. Okay, specific po ito doon sa in-company training. Ito po is indicated in the 2024 Omnibus Guidelines Scholarship Program. Okay, ang requirements po for the in-company training is yung letter of intent. And item number 2, any government license or permit to operate the business. Pwede pong SEC registration, DTI registration, basta po company po kayo. Kung cooperatives, yung cooperatives registration. And number 3 requirements po, yung competency-based curriculum. Meron po kaming template dyan or yung training plan. Ano po ang doon po sa training plan, meron pong naka-indicate po dyan yung tools, equipment, and yung materials po na requirements. Pwede po ninyo yung ma-secure sa ating district or provincial office kung saan po kayo mag-a-apply ng program registration. And item number 4 po is yung list ng qualified trainers. List and profiles of trainers or supervisor with any relevant trainers certification. Basically, ito lang po yung nire-require for the enterprise-based training program under the 2024 Omnibus Scholarship guidelines. Okay, isa pong program na kung saan po pwede po kayong mag-apply ng scholarship is yung under po ng Tulong Trabaho Scholarship Program. Funded po ito ng TESDA. And ito po ay scholarship program established through RA number 11230, which mainly aims to provide more innovative approaches to Tibet, linked to the requirements of industry to primarily address unemployment and job skill mismatch through the delivery of selected training programs to qualified recipients. Usually po sa Tulong Trabaho Scholarship Program, ito po yung upskilling, reskilling po ng mga workers ng isang company or would-be workers ng isang company. Okay po. Basically, yun lang po ang aking presentations and thank you. I'm open po sa inyong questions.
Ma'am Ida, thank you very much po for explaining to us yung process po natin. Talagang especially for in-company, pinadali na natin yung requirements, as in 4 na documents na lang talaga naman yung kailangan, which especially yung mga nagtuturo na din naman talaga ng mga ICT courses, ready na yun sa kanilang mga company. So it's really just a matter of putting it in a TESDA form and submitting yung mga forms na yon.
Opo, correct po, sir.
Mamila question po. Simula kasi you mentioned about meron pa tayong provincial, regional. Kung Metro Manila po siya, saan po siya? Diretso siya sa central or may pinagdadaanan pa rin siya na offices?
Opo, hindi po sa central. Sa central po kasi is more on policy development po tayo. For the Metro Manila po, pwede po kayong pumunta sa mga district offices po ng National Capital Region. We have po district office po ng PASMAC Makati. Dito po siya located sa Gate 2 ng TESDA main office. And nandito rin po sa TESDA complex yung Muntiparlas District Office. Yung Quezon City District Office, nasa may Araneta Avenue po yan, Quezon City. Yung Pamamarisan po, nasa Marikina. Ano pa ba? Yung Kamanaba, I think nasa Caloocan po. Ang Kamanaba District Office natin. And ano pa ba?
Nasa Navotas po ang Kamanaba.
Nasa Navotas daw. Kasi ang alam ko po kasi sa Caloocan, sa may likod po ng dating Caloocan City Hall. Ayan po, nasa Navotas. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am Joy.
Pero even that po, parang ang ikli na din talaga naman ng application time. Especially again, yung mga companies natin, definitely may mga training rooms na yan, ready na yung mga equipment. So, parang ang bilis na din sila talagang mag-qualify po, ma-register yung mga programs nila.
Yes po, actually po talagang medyo konti lang po yung ni-require namin application for company. Ang marami po talaga yung institution-based program kasi naka-anchor po yun sa ating training regulations. Ngayon po yung depende rin po sa ating mga companies kung gusto po nilang registered ng programs with training regulations. May specific requirements din po kasi ang training regulations natin na kailangan i-comply ng isang company.
Opo. Pero yung requirement po na for in-company na 4 is still the same po.
Opo.
regardless kung may TR or non-3 TR yung yung
Opo,
program.
opo, opo, opo.
Okay. Okay. Kasi I think for many of us also here, you also do ICT training, mga Java, Oracle, minsan tinuturo pa yun eh. Those are may mga training regulations yung mga yun. So you could also, use that and apply talaga sa EBT.
Opo.
Oh, actually, just found out about the EBT program late last year, and I've been with the IT industry for 25 years. I've been training people, in all of these ICT trainings. I think we need to take advantage of this mga programs natin. I think one advantage din kasi on why we want to register our training programs is para ma-recognize din talaga that we are training in this. Second is, importante din somehow na hindi masayang yung mga training efforts. Kasi we can award, tama po ba, either mga NC level to mga to. Pwede tayong ma-award na o NC level 3 na kayo dito, NC level 2, NC level 4.
Opo. Actually po, we encourage po sana ang ating mga companies na magpa-register ng higher qualification natin kung meron namang available. And also po, may mga NC po yan, yung National Competency, yan po yung mga with training regulations. Pagdating po
Yes.
sa CS, institutional assessment po ang aming nire-require sa isang
Correct.
company.
Correct po. Then, I think kasi there are definitely, actions or discussions happening also between TESDA and CHED pagdating sa micro-credentials. Importante yan na ma-recognize natin yung mga trainings kasi it will count to a credential, di ba, sa higher education. So talagang if you register yung mga trainings ninyo, whether I urge everyone to go to the website, hanapin niyo yung mga training regulations, mga competency standards. I'll I'll bet you isa sa mga trainings na ginagawa nyo nandun. May training regulation doon or may competency standard, and you can actually register that. So eventually, pag naayos na yung discussion natin about micro-credentialism between TESDA and CHED, yung mga trainings na binibigay natin sa mga employees natin or even yung kinukuha natin will be counted as part ng ng higher education. So walang sayang, walang tapon yung training natin, yung efforts natin in all of these trainings.
Opo. Hindi ko lang po kanina na sama yung requirements po sa micro-credential. May separate requirements po kasi yung micro-credential program. And pwede po kahit ano lang yan, isang module yan, isang unit lang ng basta kailangan po ng company, kailangan po ng kanyang mga workers.
Yes.
Ngayon po kasi ang ating mga dinedevelop na program at yung mga nire-registered po natin dapat po area-based demand-driven. At may pangangailangan po ng industry and may ready employment para po sa ating mga learners or graduates po.
Correct. And siguro in terms of that, kung need naman talaga, area-based driven yan, I think we can confidently say na pagdating sa analytics, sa artificial intelligence, I think kahit sa lugar ng Pilipinas, kailangan din naman yan. I think there was one actually who was asking, sana may mga TVIs na nag-o-offer ng ganitong training. Kaka-release lang din naman din kasi nung CS natin. So it'll probably take some time for our TVIs to really start offering the program. But we hope na at least by siguro late this year, some of the TVIs can already start offering these courses. Kasi when you look at the competency standard naman, very clear din naman kung ano naman yung kailangan ituro. Okay. So whether it's TVI or in company.
Both training regulation and competency standards is ang partner naman po natin dyan is mga taga-industry. And then yung we also encourage po na magpa-register ng mga emerging technologies. Mas ano po yun, mas okay po yun. And actually may mga binibigay naman pong funding or scholarship allocation for those training program. Just apply lang po sa ating mga district and provincial offices.
Yeah.
Mag-inquire lang po sa kanila. Kasi may mga allocation naman pong ibinibigay ang ating SMD sa mga district and provincial offices.
Yes. I think that's one of the incentives din. Parang, as I've been saying, to mga companies natin na to, you've already been doing this training for so long. And then yet gastos nyo yun, di ba? Ito, may program pala tayo na TESDA, may mga scholarship. Malaking tulong na din sa atin yun, di ba? To at least partially fund yung mga training programs natin. So it's really just a matter of going through very simple steps, 4 documents na kailangan yung ipasa, and it will definitely boost na din naman your training initiatives.
Opo. Kaya kailangan po yung ating mga interested companies, kailangan po mag-attend ng comprehensive orientation para doon po ninyo malaman sa orientation kung ano yung mga policies and guidelines, kung may scholarship allocation po ba yung program. And then, Sir Sherwin, I also would like to encourage po yung ating mga companies, yung kanilang pong mga workers na training po through TESDA online program. Mag-enroll lang po sila doon. And may corresponding training certificate po na ibinibigay pag nakatapos po sila ng TESDA online program.
Yes. Definitely na-encourage po natin yan. Actually po ako nakatapos na ako ng not ICT related. Kailangan ko sing matuto maglinis ng air conditioning namin. Nag-enroll ako sa TESDA dyan. Para ako na lang ang gumagawa niyan. Malaking tulong, malaking bagay sa atin yung mga TESDA training programs natin.
Yes po. And meron po din doon yung trainer's methodology. Baka yung ating pong mga industry trainer, yung gustong maging industry trainer, pwede po silang mag-training.
Ayan po. Okay. Dami nating opportunities natin. I don't think we have any questions. This is really just an orientation po na we've asked TESDA to help us. Once you get the urge na po to really do this, I'll send you din man yung mga participants natin yung circulars, yung mga templates na gamitin. If you're ready, start applying na po, and our TESDA is very, very much willing to give you the full orientation ng gagawin. I'm going to assure you na hindi siya ganon kalayo dun sa mga ginagawa nyo na ngayon. So, it will really be a very, very simple process for you. Okay?
Yes
Sige
Basta
po.
see to it po na complete, correct, and compliant po yung program
Correct.
registration para po mabilis lang po. Kasi 3 days lang po talaga yung process cycle time namin.
Okay. Thank you, Ma'am Ida. Edie Joy, any closing words po for our participants dito? Siguro encourage them to register po sa ating EBT program.
Opo. First of all, salamat ulit, Sir Sherwin, for giving us this opportunity na ma-share sa ating mga kaibigan sa industry yung pong opportunity din naman. At ito ay magandang pagkakataon para makapag-participate ang bawat isa na nasa industry sa pag-develop ng kanilang mga magiging bahagi ng kanilang workforce. Kasi nobody would know it better. I mean, yung industry, yung sector nila, than they themselves, no? And they would know better kung ano yung kailangan talaga na skill ng kanilang mga hahanapin at i-recruit na mga manggagawa or mga members ng kanilang sector. Maganda po na from the start pa lang ay nakakatulong na namin kayo sa TESDA in determining kung ano yung klase ng skill na your operation or your business would require. sa inyong mga magiging manggagawa. Kasi that way, walang tapon, no? Kung ano yung kailangan po ninyo, ay siya nating i-develop ng mga competency standards, or kung meron lang na-develop na competency standards, then we will be able to help you out in developing yung inyong mga magiging manggagawa sa pamamagitan ng ating enterprise-based training program na pinaka recommended na paraan ng pagte-train dahil meron kayong hand or meron kayong participation talaga from the start pa lang kung paano patatakbuhin yung pong training na inyong isasagawa para sa inyong mga magiging manggagawa. And that way po, nakatitiyak tayo na kung ano yung mga nagiging product ng ating mga trainings ay kung ano talagang kailangan ng industriya. At when we say kailangan ng industriya dahil tayo ay nakabase sa mga standards na dinevelop, hindi lang po ng industriya sa Pilipinas, kundi kahit saan. No? We will be able to develop globally competitive na mga manggagawa, skilled, highly skilled, at yung properly skilled na mga manggagawa para sa ating mga kanya-kanyang industriya or kanya-kanyang operations. Salamat po dahil kahit paano ay naisip ninyo na pwedeng mag-participate. No? This is a very noble way of helping our economy, our national economy, in this para collective effort natin ito na para maibangon ulit ang ating kanya-kanyang industriya at makatiyak na bahagi tayo ng pagbangon muli ng ating bansa at ng ating ekonomiya. So maraming salamat po for expressing that intent na maging kabahagi ng TESDA sa pag-develop ng mga globally competitive at work-ready na workforce.
And with that, maraming salamat po uli, ED Joy, Ma'am Ida, Ma'am Mel, for taking time po. Alam kong busy din kayo sa TESDA. Pag pupunta kami dyan, minsan mahirap kayo hagilawin. Ang dami-dami niyo pong mga initiatives. And we know naman din po, ginagawa naman ng TESDA to for everyone po. Sa bansa gaya nga po ng sinabi ni ED Joy. Maraming salamat po, and you can be assured po of our continuous support po with TESDA. Thank you, and thank you also po to our participants. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Magandang hapon po, and thank you rin po for the opportunity to share to you our program registration and ABT training programs.
Okay. Sige po. Thank you, Ma'am ED Joy, Ma'am Ida. Thank you po.
Okay.
Salamat
Thank
po,
you
sir.